GenAI is a probability engine. If you're not the probable answer, then you're probably not the possible answer either.
We're joined by Rebecca from the Brandtech group. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Rebecca, bias in AI has been a problem for marketing leaders especially ever since its inception. Why is it proving to be such a tough problem to solve, even now, so many years on?
I think the challenge is the opacity. So for most marketing leaders, they're not building AI, they're leveraging AI. And so the people building AI, the responsibility can sit with them in some way to kind of find a solution. And it's really baked into the very fabric of the industry. So you may not know this, but almost 92% of AI software developers identify as male. Only 1% of investment went to female founders in this space. So I just think if probability is not on your side, GenAI is a probability engine. If you're not the probable answer, then you're probably not the possible answer either, because nobody who's building AI is focused on making kind of fringe representation part of the core. And that's really the challenge.
What sort of strategies are you seeing brands or platforms deploy in order to try and mitigate that bias? What's working?
At the moment, I would say it's largely avoidance. So lots of brands we're seeing have a strategy that says we won't generate synthetic humans, or we will be very careful about our representation of real people. We'll stick to low-risk use cases. That is really loosening now. I think the evolution of the frontier video models means that you really have to find a new position that you're comfortable with ethically for your kind of responsible AI practice. And then when it comes to then really considering the inclusion of humans, then you need a technical level of mitigation. You need something baked into the technology. You can't just put that responsibility at the door of prompters. To always remember to be conscious prompting, to have a full grasp of inclusivity every time they generate.
And what would your advice be to marketing leaders who are trying to scale GenAI, but trying to do it responsibly and yet not trying to slow down innovation?
Yeah, that's where I think you want to find a great technical mitigation and then deploy it at scale inside of your business. So the way that we've tried to kind of overcome this challenge is we prototyped a tool called Bias Breaker. So it's a level of technical mitigation that sits on top of any image or video generation model. We configured, starting with 6 dice for the 6 most common forms of inclusivity: gender, age, ethnicity, religion, disability, etc. And when you enter a simple prompt, we roll those dice. We give you up to 2 forms of inclusivity woven into your prompt, more sophisticated prompt, that you can then use in any of those models. And I think just being able to bring that level of randomized representation, without having to bring your own sort of tokenistic or unconscious bias to the process, is a really powerful way to bake the solution into the technology itself.
It's hugely promising. Rebecca, thanks so much for joining us here in Cannes.
My absolute pleasure.